Step 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God, as we understood Him. Practicing Step 3 is like the opening of a door which total appearance sees still closed and locked. All we need is a key, and the decision to swing the door open. There is an anarchy and it is called willingness. 1c and locked be willingness. The door opens at most of itself, and looking through it we shall see pathway beside which is an inscription. It reads, "This is the way of faith that works." In the first 2 steps we were engaged in reflection. We saw that we were powerless of alcohol between also perceived that faith thoughts a kind of unlike and itself. Is possible to and these conclusions did not require action, they required only acceptance. Like all remaining steps, Step 3 calls for accurate modification for the litigation between Kankata was easel for which I saw was blocked in fear of God. More I find like a higher power in entire lives. Faith told sure in safari, but faith alone can avail nothing. We can have faith, yet keep God out of our lives. Therefore our problem now becomes just how and by what specific means shall we be literally thin? Step 3 represents our first attempt to do these. In fact the effectiveness of a program will rest upon how well and earnestly we have treated a decision to turn will hand our lives over to the care of God's understood Him. To very worldly and practical-minded beginner this Stetler sharp even impossible. No matter how Mukon wishes to exactly how can he turn his own will and his own life over to the care of whatever God had thinks is ? Fortunately what have treated and why their qualms. Givings can justify that on anyone it can begin to toy. We can further add thought a beginning event has small. The ST itself is needed. Once you have said the key off willingness and the lock and have the door bear slightly open, we find that we can always open it some more. Though self-will Islam it should again has it frequently does it will always respond the moment we again the willingness. Maybe thistle sounds mysterious but some think like Einstein's theory of related a proposition in nuclear physics. It is and total. Let's look off how practical it actually is. Every man and woman who has joined AA on tends to stick hot without realizing get made a bidjan. On Step 3. Is and to truth no matters touching you behind alcohol. Off the message side to turn his or her life over to for care, protection, and guidance. Of Alcoholics Anonymous ? AL willingness has been achieved to cost out tone sound will and don't sound ideas about the alcohol problem in favor of those suggested by AA. Any willing newcomer feels area. It's thinly safe harbor for the foundering vessel has become. Now if thighs is not turning God's will and life over to newfound providence, then what is it? But supposite instinct still cries out as it certainly will. Yes, respecting alcohol against habitobadipan, dentupana. Butanol thermometers I must still maintain my independence. Nothing is going to turn me into a non-entity. If I keep on turning my will over to the corrupts methin gorsomi but else what will become of me? I'll look like the whole and fidufnet. This, of course is the process be with instinct and logical with east seek tobal strigatism and so a frustrate spiritual development. The trouble is that this kind of thinking takes an real account of the facts. And these facts seem to be the maru about them willing to depend upon a higher power. Then or independent we shortly are. Therefore dependence asa. Practices it by as really a means of gaining true independence. Desperate. Let's examine for a moment physical dependency. Televela fever day living. Antheserative startling toties. Cover how dependent worry lighter and unconscious soft hat dependence. Ever modern house has electric carrying power and light toys and a rider. We're delighted with this dependence. Our main hope is hat nothing will ever put off his appeal current. Be so accepted. Dependence upon this marvel of science we find ourselves marine dependent personally. Note only aru a marine day. Dependent where even more comfortable and secure. Power flow is just what is needed. Silence early electricity. Strange energy so food people understand meets our simplest day leans under most desperate ends. Ask Fihalio suffer confined to an iron lung who depends with complete trust upanamo toward to keep that breath of life in him. But mental emotional independence sizing question how differently would how persistently we claim thrive decide ourselves just twain shall think and just thou who shall oh highs will with effort and console fever problem we listen politely though those who will dad be sues beautiful the decisions are to be ours alone nobody is going to meddle with our personal independence saying such matter besides we think there is new it can early trust where certain attitude lies. Just bad could be willpower can write like controller in lives and guarantee you success in the world living. This brave philosophy wherein the ape-man plays God sounds good and that speaking but it's elasto meet he sadist. How well does it actually work question mark one good look in the mirror. Rough toe beans where now for an alcoholic. Should his own image in the mirror be too awful to contemplate and to visualize him I first take a look at the results normal people are jetting from self-sufficiency. Everywhere he sees people filled with anger and fear so I, Betty break up into ring fragments. The 8 fragments are east to the third right hand to where wrong every such pressure group I find is strong genuine self-righteous like them. Possesses will upon thirst. And the where these anything I have the eating does not an individual basis. Thism of all this mighty effort ceaseless the AC endless brotherhood fun bay, for that philosophical self-sufficiency is not they and got. Plainly he knew fight is a bone-crushing juggernaut whose now achievement is ruin. Therefore, we who are alcoholics can consider our selves fortunatine day. The coffee shashadis on air. The talent sound here with pay juggernaut or self and have just fear enough under its weight to be willing to look for something better. What is the circumstance or other than being any virtue if we have been driven to have a admitted defeat have acquired that element soft faith and no one to make a decision to turn your levels over to higher power. Worry lies at that word dependence I saw distasteful to many psychiatrists and psychologists as it is to alcoholics. Like our professional friends we too area worry that there are wrong forms of dependence. We have experienced many of them. No adult man or woman, for example, should be in too much emotional dependence upon apparent. They should have been weaned long before, and if they have not been they should wake up to the fact. This very for most faulty dependencies cause man here, but it's alcoholic to conclude that dependency on a sort must be intolerably damaging but dependence upon a group in a higher power hasn't produced any baleful results. When World War broke out, the spiritual principle had its first matter test. A. Centered these services and were scattered all over the world. With the able to take styles, discipline stand up under fire and endure the monotony misery of war with the kind of dependence they had learned in a carried them through well it did. They had even fewer alcoholic lapses or emotional than just an safe method. They were just as capable of endurance and valorization won't their soldier. Web analysis don't say learn no be ahead of their dependence upon a higher power. Work. And far from being weakness this dependence was their chief source of strength. So how exactly can the willing person continue to turn his will and his life over to higher power he media beginning what have seen what he comments said upon AA for the solution of his alcohol problem. By now, though the Sarafat has become convinced that he has more problems find alcohol and but some of he's refused to be solved dial that sheer personal determination and courage her can muster. They simply will not budge. They make him desperately unhappy and threaten his new found sobriety. Our friend is still victimized of mere mercy and guilt when he thinks so yesterday. Bitterness till overpower airshine what he broods upon thoughts he still envies or hates. His financial insecurity worries him sick and panic takes over when he thinks it fault that bridges to saboteur thought alcohol burned behind him. And how shall he straighten out that awful jam thought constant the affection of his family and separative dim from them his slowly courage and donata will cannot doy. Surely he must know that and dupe some body or so myth angels. At first that somebody I likely to bet his closest friend. He relies upon the assurance that there's many troubles. No modimo react because he could no usil kohoro kill the pain can but solve to. Though of course the sponsor points out the tour friends slight fast lunt manageable events out his opera that after all only abby rest are the not. A. Program has been made. More sobriety roughed about by the admise. No alcohol is manned by attendance for a meeting she's very good but it is bound to be a far cry from Mon and sobriety and contented useful life. That is just where the remaining steps off the A. Program co-main. Nothing short of continuous action upon the cease way of life can bring a much desired result. Tonight explain and the total steps of the Adopt program can be practiced with success only with step 3 is given a determined and persistent trial. This statement may surprise a newcomers who have the experience said nothing but constant deflation and a growing conviction that the will is of no value hate for. They have become pursued and drively so that many problems besides alcohol will not yield to headlong assault powered by the individual alone. But no we tap pierced had heard certain things which only the individual can do. A11 by himself and the light or his own circumstances had needs to develop the quality of will. Ingness. When requires willingness his can light on her can't make the decision to observe themselves. Trying to do this is an act of his own will. Aloft had 12 steps sorry. Query sustain and personal exertion to conform to their principles and so we trust to God's will. That is when to maker will conform with God's that we begin to see tritely. To low foods this way the most wonderful revelation. Our ill trouble had be enemies. Use your willpower. We have tried to bombard your problems with it instead of attempting to bring it into agreement with God's intention for us. Is increasingly possible is the purpose of adopts 12 steps and step 3 opens the door. Once you have come into agreement with these ideas it is really easy to begin to practice off step 3. No times of emotional disturbance and decision we can pause, ask for quiet and the stillness is implicit. God grant me the serenity to accept that things cannot change, courage to change other things can and wisdom talk no for difference. He will not mean be done.